second part. Voudon, which means be aware of the spirit in all things. That's what the word Voudon means. To be aware that the spirit is the guiding force in everything that you see. It's not the matter that is important. It is the spirit. So every time you are aware and act as such, if I know that spirit is what matters, then I also know that I have the power to do all kinds of things. If I have the right mind, the right spirit, and if I can use it properly, then I can do all kinds of things. If I'm limited by the illusion of matter, then I'm also limited in what I can do and where I can go. I'm limited in space and time. So basically, most people have this concept, this idea of Voudon, which is what the Europeans have put in their newspapers, in their movies. You take a doll and you stick it and somebody someplace dies and, that kind of crap. Which has absolutely nothing to do with what we're talking about. My own analysis is this. Every people to whom it is given the opportunity to come with a concept of the divine, because that's what, when you create a religion, that's what it is. You come with a concept of the divine in your relationship to it. Okay? The Jews came with a concept of the divine, their relationship to it. Christians, and I'm not talking about Romans or Italians, okay? Know that Christianity, where was Christianity? Ethiopia. Okay. So they had a concept of the divine and their relationship to it. So they brought in their expression of this concept is what we call the Christian religion. Now, as different people take a hold of somebody's concept or come up with their own, it will give a new religion. Whether I go and borrow yours and change here a little bit there, or I just sit back and close my eyes and come up with my own concept, it will still be a religion. So what are the fundamental concepts in Voudon? Very simple. If you know anything about Voudon, you probably have heard about loi, the word loi, which means law. It's written L-O-A, but it's the same as L-A-W. Okay? Or in French, the word is L-O-I, law, which means a rule, a principle that you must know. And in Voudon, you talk about serving the law, serving the loi. Okay? You're not talking about adoring some spirit, some concept, some image. You're talking about serving. So if you have laws that you must know and that you must serve, then there's something that you must accomplish. If we look back a little bit, the mother of Voudon is Ifa in Africa.
Yes.
Okay? When you look into Ifa, you find out Ifa tells you the purpose for man being here is to build good character. Know who you are, build good character, and act in accord with your spirit. If you do that, you're in heaven. It's very simple. It's not about sticking dolls, it's about understanding. Now, when the people create their own expression, what we did in Haiti, fed by Ifa, we reshaped it and created our own expression as to what is divine and what our relationship is to it. And every book, every, what they call spiritual books, but holy books, okay, you will find that they say, in different ways, but they all say the same thing. There'll be something like somewhere in the beginning, God created by his words, he brought all of this creation about, right? Scientists say it a little differently. They say Big Bang. What is Big Bang? Big sound. Okay, so by the sound, matter came to be. Okay, no disagreement there. You take the Holy Quran, it will still tell you, through his mouth, everything came. Same thing. So as I look at all this, and I look at our concepts, I look at all these different books. What is the Bible? That the actual Bible, not the Book of the Dead, not the original, okay? But those that they've made up from. It's the history of a people in a space and time and their connection to the divine. You take the Torah. What is the Torah? It's the history of the Jews and their connection to the divine. So I said, well, let me see. What is my history? What is there in my arms? And as I look at our INT's history, I say, okay, the principal rule, I find this law everywhere, that out of the mouth, the sound which must bring about what must be, must come out of somebody's mouth. And in our history, we have somebody called Bookman Duty, who one night was the first person to put into clear terms, here's what must happen. You must know that you are God's child. You're God's child. You must know that he wants you to free yourself from this slavery here. You must know that he will make you strong and support you in what you do. You must fight against these people, and you must listen to the voice of liberty, which speaks in the heart of each and every one of you. Even as I analyze the name of this man, there is no hazard. Everything has a reason. His name is Bookman, the man of the book. What is a book? The book brings the words. Bookman what? Bookman Duty. The man who is the book of what our duty is. And he's the one who ignites the fire of revolution in our country. Down the road, I look at Toussaint Louverture. This man is named as a slave. He's called François Dominique Breda. François, which means belonging to France and the French people. Dominique, born on a Sunday. Breda, carrying a load. As he began to fight, as he entered the Revolutionary War, he gets rid of this first name, François. He gets rid of this second name, Dominique, and he takes the name Toussaint, All Saints. And finally, he gets rid of Breda and takes the name Louverture, the one who opens the way. So what's his name? In the Revolution, he is the man who represents all the saints and who opens the way. In Voudon, we have a law called Legba. Legba is the one who gives power to all the other laws. And they say Legba is the one who opens the gate, opens the way. So what did we see? As we analyze the physical characteristics of Legba and the physical characteristic of Toussaint, we find them practically identical. As we look at the function of Legba and the function of Toussaint, again, we find them the same. As we look at their mission, we find them the same. So, we find Legba in Toussaint. We find Ogun in Dessalines. We find Oshun in Marie-Claire Rose. And finally, what you see is that in your belief system, you have a knowledge of yourself. If you know your own belief system, then you know who you are. And you can understand what your mission is. And you have a better understanding as to how you should act to be successful in your life. That, to me, is the most important thing that happened in the years of the revolution in Haiti, is that these people did not just go out there fighting. They were not just good fighters, strong fighters, but these were people who knew who they were. So everything could become a weapon in their hands. And when they didn't need a weapon, everything would become a tool in their hands. You're sitting on chairs right now, right? Those chairs are what? Are they weapons or tools? It's a tool. As you sit on them, they are tools. You use them to accomplish something, to hold your weight. It's a tool. Now, if we were to be attacked the next minute, what would happen? Intelligent people would get up off their seats and take the chairs, and then the chairs would be what? They would become our weapons, of course. Everything in front of you can always be either your tool or your weapon according to circumstances. And that's what intelligent people know. Depending on what's going on, you don't want to use this as a tool, as a weapon, when there is no war going on. It's a time for using it as a tool. And you should be able to know everything that you have can either be a tool or a weapon. Circumstances will determine what is the best way to use it. And circumstances, you, in the circumstance, you have to know who you are. If you don't know who you are, you cannot judge the circumstance properly. Then you will have a tendency to take a tool and make it a weapon, and take a weapon and use it as a tool. And that's the most important thing you need to know. Who you are, know what the circumstances call for, and make a use of everything that is in front of you. That's what real wealth is all about. It's not accumulation of things. You can have all the things accumulated somewhere. But if you don't know what to use and when, you don't know at what moment, a time to be silent and a time to speak. That's what eloquent people know. We all can talk. But when you can talk and touch and affect others, it's because you know to make the difference, clear difference between silence and speaking. It's not what you say. It's not what you say. It's how you say it. Thank you for your attention. Yes, he is from Jamaica. He was sold into Saint Domingue when he was 12.